Hey guys, this is Not Lammers of Invoked 101, and today I'm taking a look at a updated Red Eyes Gemini deck profile. And there's a couple cards still missing, such as another copy of Red Eyes Insight, and a few other cards that I'll talk about when I get into those cards specifically. But this worked out pretty well when I played it against a few friends of mine. Granted, they're just casual, so I wouldn't say this is a competitive deck in any shape or way, but it definitely does have a bit more oomph to it than it once did. So let's move some of these cards out of the way, and we'll start with the main deck monsters, as we usually do. So let's start with the normies. I'm running 2 Red Eyes Black Dragon and 1 Summon Skull. You'll see this for a lot of Red Eyes deck profiles. I know some started running 3 of him depending on your build, but a lot just run the 1 Summon Skull because, unfortunately, the Red Eyes one, who is a lot better than this guy, isn't a normal monster in the deck. So we do have to run our normal Archfiend. So that's it for our normies. So let's move into the Geminis. That is our 3 Red Eyes Black... Whoa, I dropped a few more cards. 3 Red Eyes Black Flare Dragons. This guy is really cool, and he's really good with a field spell that we have in the deck. So yeah, 3 Red Eyes Black Flares, just the upgraded version. His Gemini effect is that if he does battle, he inflicts 2400, so that's pretty nice. For some other Gemini Red Eyes, we'll just leave these guys here because I like the way it looks. For our other Geminis, we have Archfiend of Lightning. Well, his Gemini effect is that he blows up cards on the field whose defense are less than his attack. So he's actually pretty good, and he's a 2500 1 tribute. But again, he is a Gemini, so with our field spell, this helps to get him out a little easier. Then we have Meteor Dragon Red Eyes Impact. I don't know what happened with the translations on this guy's name, but sure, this is his name now. I always just call it Falling, just Meteor Red Eyes, because that's what it is. It's just Red Eyes Meteor Dragon, which I don't know why that wasn't its name. But its Gemini effect is that while this card is on the field, other Red Eyes cards cannot be targeted or destroyed by card effects, I believe. Cannot be destroyed by battle or card effect. Okay, so that's cool. And it does have a 2600 booty, but that's not stopping anything really, so. As for some other Red Eyes cards, we're running 2 Red Eyes Retro Dragon to save our Red Eyes monsters. Unfortunately, this only works for level 7s and lowers, so sometimes this can be a kind of dead card. We also have Red Eyes Gearfried. He's the equip-based one. Because there's only one in the deck, I haven't been able to use him very much. And also, I'm mostly using him as a fusion material for Red Eyes Slash Dragon, so he doesn't come up all that often. He does combo with another card though, so basically he can blow up an equip card that's equipped to him, long and short of it. Because this is a Red Eyes deck, we do run the Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, Red MD. This guy is great, summons a dragon from the graveyard, banish dragon, just basically gets you a free thing, and it can summon out of the hand, so it does help you get some of your Geminis and normies out of your hand, so very good. Some other cards are 2 dark, these are the non-Red Eyes cards. 2 Black Metal Dragon. This is the equip card. It gives a Red Eyes 600 bonus attack, so that's pretty beefy. And then whenever it leaves the field, you get to search any Red Eyes card. So very nice to have in the deck. I would run it at 3, but I don't quite know where a 3rd one is. It's okay. And lastly, for the Red Eyes, not Red Eyes stuff, 3 Blackstone of Legend. Now, I know this sounds like a lot to some people, but oddly enough, this, because it's a level 1 dragon and because some of the extra deck, and just due to other things, such as, I believe no, it's not Gearfried who recycles this, it's Baby Dragon that recycles this. Oh well. Oh well. This card does come up, and it's very nice to open it. You almost always want to open it, and it does recycle some of your dead Red Eyes, which isn't super great, but it does come up every now and then, so. And that's it for the Red Eyes and non-Red Eyes cards. So, as for the other monsters in the deck, I am running 2 Defrag Dragon. This helps get out another, this helps with link summoning. Basically, you pitch a monster and special summon this from the hand. It is a dark dragon, so it does fit with the deck pretty well. I like running it because Red Eyes likes the graveyard, so being able to pitch something and summon something for free does help. It also helps with tribute summoning if something's dead in your hand, because you can pitch something, special this, tribute it off, and summon something. Yes, that is a neg 3 really to summon out one card, but it does pop up. So 2 Defrag Dragon. And lastly, 2 Kaijus, just Sticky and Dogran. Unfortunately, the way that this works is really you're going to be giving your opponent this one and keeping the Sticky, because this is a level 7, so you can Xyz with it. So that's kind of unfortunate, but that's the way that it goes. All right, that's it for the main deck monsters. So let's go into the spells and traps. So our first one is Red Eye's Insight, and like I said, I wish I had a second copy of this. Unfortunately, I don't. That's fine. It's whatever. Running 1 is okay, but the most optimal one is to run 2. Then I'm running 3 Red Eye's Fusion. You always want to see this card because this is like your big push, your OTK machine. It really does help. And that's it for the Red Eye spells. They don't really have too many spells. So here we go. This is the field spell I was talking about. This is Catalyst Field. So what this does is it lets you summon Geminis for free, and then gives you an extra normal summon for a Gemini. And this lets you summon level 5 or higher Geminis without tributing, so that's amazing. This card is dirt cheap too. I think I picked up all 3 of these for 75 cents together up at a card store in Iowa, so that was awesome. And because we need to see this card a lot, yes, I'm running 3, but I'm also running 2 Terraforming. That's just so that way we see this, because with 3, you're running 5 copies, and while you could run 6, I like having the 2 Terraforming in there, because it is, because running a 3rd one does happen to clog up this deck, as there's not a lot of ways out of it, unlike in something like in Mech Knight Invoked, where running 3 doesn't really hurt, because you can just set it as like a bluff, and then also helps summon your guys, so, yeah. Then I'm running 2 Dragon Shrines. Now, because things are Geminis in the graveyard, this lets you send 2 dragons almost every time to the graveyard. So you can use this, dump a normie, and then send something like Red Eye's Darkness Metal, and then flip up Red Eye's Spirit to bring that to the board, and then summon out the normie. So this helps make the deck play. This is one of the new cards I put in. Cards that help this are Silver's Cry, summons a vanilla dragon out of your graveyard, because everything it has to be just any vanilla dragon. Yep, any normal dragon. This is a quick play, which is awesome. It can help. It can be a defensive card. It can be an offensive card, but it can summon any of your Gemini dragons or any of your Red Eyes, just vanilla Red Eyes guy. So very nice, very nice. And then something that helps out a little bit more is Return of the Dragon Lords. So 2 Return of the Dragon Lords, 2 Silver Scry. We're not lacking in the revival, but to help, and this also protects your level 7 and 8 dragons. So, and also to help with the revival is our traps, which is Return of the Red Eyes. If you control a Red Eyes monster, you can target a vanilla in your graveyard and special summon it. That's super useful. And then whenever this dies, you get a special summon a Red Eyes out of your graveyard, I'm pretty sure. And then to help with even more revival, the last 2 cards in the deck are Red Eyes Spirit. This just summons any Red Eyes monster out of the graveyard, including Red Eyes Darkness Metal and Red Eyes Slash Dragon. Anything that has Red Eyes in his name. So just we're running 2, 4, 6, and 8 revival cards, not including the 2 retros, which are like time machines. So yeah, a lot of revival in this deck, which because this deck loves sending stuff to the graveyard by the dozen, it's awesome to have all this utility to bring stuff back from the dead. Sadly, some of it is traps, a lot of it is traps, so you have to put up with that. But it gets the job done. And that's it for the main deck. The last up is the extra, as always. There is no side for this one because it's just a casual deck. So let's start with the fusions. 1 Red Eye Slash Dragon because I have it. If you don't know what it does, then I will happily tell you. So what this does is it requires Red Eye's Black Dragon and a Warrior, and then whenever a Red Eyes declares an attack, you can equip a Warrior to it, and then it negates stuff by destroying an equip card to it, and it has an effect too. The equipment. When a Red Eyes monster declares an attack, you can target a warrior in the graveyard, equip it to this card as an equip spell. With this effect, the equipped monster gains 200 attack. When a card or effect is activated that targets a card you control, quick effect, you can send one equipped card you control to the graveyard. Negate the activation. If you do, destroy that card. If this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon as many monsters from your graveyard as possible that were equipped to this card. So it kind of works the same way as the Cyberdark fusion monster, which I saw this and I was like, man, those two have a lot in common. So yeah, one Red Eyes Slash Dragon. Then 2 Archfiend Black Skull Dragon. This guy is... Okay, I remember what he does. In the battle phase, if he attacks, your opponent can't activate cards and effects until the end of the damage step, or is the end of the battle phase. Until the end of the damage step. If damage calc is performed involving this fusion summon card, at the end of the battle phase, you can target a Red Eyes normal in your graveyard, inflict damage to your opponent equal to its attack in the graveyard, then shuffle it into the deck. So that's pretty good. Burning for 24, for like 2400, sometimes 2500 because it just has to be a Red Eyes normal, which includes the Archfiend of Lightning, Red Eyes Archfiend. So that's nice. Then we have 2 Meteor Black Comet Dragon. I always just called it Falling Meteor Dragon. What this guy does is whenever he's fusion, he requires a... Oh, by the way, this requires a Red Eyes normal monster, a one level 6 Archfiend normal monster, and 1 Red Eyes normal monster. There you go. That's what it requires. So this is Meteor Black Dragon. This requires just 1 level 7 Red Eyes monster and 1 level 6 dragon. So you can actually get a little creative with the level 6 dragon you use here. Whenever this card is fusion summoned, you can send 1 Red Eyes monster from your deck to the graveyard, and then inflict damage equal to half of that monster's attack to your opponent. Then whenever this card dies, you can special summon 1 Red Eyes monster out of your graveyard. So that's pretty good. He also has 3500 attack. This one has 3200 attack. So these 2 right here are pretty beefy. These are your main boss monsters. They're gonna get over stuff. So that's it for the fusion monsters, because you don't need too many fusions in this deck. Not anymore. So for our Xyz monsters, we're running 1 Big Eye to steal stuff. Running 2 Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragons to punish the opponent. This is, if you can make this, I always make this because it's just one of the better ones. And it does summon a Red Eyes out of the graveyard, which is nice to have. So helps link summoning, helps a lot of stuff. You can also throw in Galaxy Tomahawk if you have them. I didn't put them in the extra, but you can. And then I'm running 1 Master of Blades because this was in the extra deck. I believe this effect is, during either player's turn, when a card or effect is activated that targets this face-up card, detach a material from it, negate it. If you do destroy it, then you can destroy 1 card on the field. So that's pretty nice. You get to negate something, destroy that, and then blow something else up. Kind of like, oh, what is it? Like Oops, I think is what it's called, or like Bad Aim, where your opponent, when your opponent does something, activates a monster effect, you get to blow something on their side up that isn't that monster, so that's cool. But yeah, that's the Xyz monsters. Pretty simple, just a few. And then lastly, 1 Link monster, and that is Twin Triangle Dragon. This barely comes up, but you can also run stuff like the Dark Link once we get that, the Dragon Link, which is the Heretic one once we get that, the Decode Talker, Land Flinkus once we get that. This deck really is just kind of waiting for its Link monster, aside from like the generic good ones. And sadly, it can't really even use the Red Eyes Darkness Metal one, which sucks. So yeah, oh well. But yeah, that's been my updated Red Eyes deck. It's a little bit the same, a little bit new, but generally I think it's better than the last time you saw it. So yeah, tell me what you guys think about it in the comments below. Tell me what I can do to make it better, of course. I might put a Dragon's Mirror in here, but there's really no point. So yeah, I will see you guys in the next video.